وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم على سيد رسول الله إمام المجاهدين وقائد الغر المحجلين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه وسار على نهجه وتبعه وهداه إلى يوم الدين. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. My dear brothers and sisters, to start with, I am very thankful to the people in charge of this masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them, and for their kind reception when we requested that we try to come today to speak to you about helping our brothers and sisters, our fathers and mothers, our children in Palestine. Many thanks to you. Last week I was in Michigan. The week before that I was in California, and we are going to continue in this campaign. Then I will not add anything to what you already observe and see, but I like to share with you something. Sometimes we as a Muslims forget our role in this life. We get so really oblivious about what we're supposed to do, and in so many cases we really ignore the issue. We get emotional, we get excited, we get this, we get that, as we vent our anger, and then that's it. We think that we did what we're supposed to do. But I try to bring your attention to something from the life of the Prophet ﷺ, which is the foundation for my khutbah. The Prophet ﷺ, in a very beautiful hadith, he said, if the hour comes and in the hand of any one of you, you see, any one of you, no specification for the one who is capable, rich, healthy, no. In the hand of any one of you, a palm seedling, a very small plant, and he has the chance, it is the qiyamah, he has the chance, the opportunity to plant it, he will be getting it planted, he will be rewarded. This hadith summoned the life of the Prophet ﷺ in totality. For those Arabs, brothers and sisters, الحديث إن قامت الساعة وفي يد أحدكم فسيلة فاستطاع أن لا تقوم أن يغرسها فليغرسها فإن له بذلك أجر. This hadith is really carrying the most important concept in the life of the Muslim. That the Muslim is all the time is a positive element in the society. As a matter of fact, he is the only positive element in any society. Because the message he carried, the call he called the people to, the practice he showed, it is all for the good of himself and the humanity at large. The Prophet ﷺ, this is the reason. My dear brothers and sisters, you can change the whole world if you do understand the message of Islam in the perfect way the Prophet ﷺ really showed it to us. We can pray, we can go to Hajj, we can reach to our pocket, we go there, and then if we are going to be really observed by the rituals, without carrying the concept of these rituals outside, in practicality, then the benefit is going to be very, very, very minimal. Look to the Prophet ﷺ as if he is understanding, subhanAllah, the nature of the human being. As a human being, all the time trying to find the easy way to go. Which is, there is nothing wrong about that, don't get me wrong. But always try to find or justify our laziness, not being active, not being positive, by finding excuses. And sometimes we do fabricate the excuses, not to do things. I am busy. I have so many things. I have to run this, this is all accepted, don't get me wrong again. But the problem is how to set our priorities. When you mix your priorities, then everything is going to be confused. And this hadith is really showing you what is your priorities. The Prophet ﷺ chose the most difficult circumstances a human being can ever face. It is the Qiyamah. There is nothing to look after. Everything is collapsed. There is no business to run after. There is no wealth to accumulate. There is nothing. It's everything done, gone. And you read it in the Quran. One single ayah really make you really scared to death, if I like to use that term. يوم تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. When every nursing woman, she really becomes so oblivious about what she is nursing, and every pregnant woman is going to drop her child, but indeed the wrath and the punishment of God is so severe. This is one picture about the Prophet ﷺ saying, if you are in this situation, and in your hand a palm seedling, a small plant will take years in order to grow, years in order to bear fruit or produce, and he's telling us, you as a Muslim, don't ever forget your job on this earth. You have to do what you're supposed to do according to the instruction come to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't ever throw it. There is no more circumstances more difficult than that. Sometimes we find excuses, or actually the weather, or the economical situation, or brother, this, and he don't even know how to express or execute sometimes. But the Prophet ﷺ gave you the most difficult situation, and in this most difficult situation, he is asking you, you have no excuse. If you have the ability, the time, the opportunity to do it, do it. Because you might not see that time, you might not have this opportunity, and then you will lose it. Someone might really argue, he say, Akhi, at this time, the terrific, the horrible moment of the Qiyamah, you want me to plant it? Who's going to take care of it? Am I going to see the fruit of it? I am. The Prophet ﷺ tried to teach us one important thing in our life. The end result is not in your hand. It is in the hand of Allah. In your hand, you can weed the soil. In your hand, you can dig the hole. In your hand, you can plant the plant. In your hand, you can water the plant, but it is not in your hand to give life to the plant. It is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which means we have to do everything required from us as a Muslim, not waiting for the result, because the result is not in our hand. We signed the contract with Allah very clearly. Read it in the Quran. إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة. Allah has purchased from those who have attained to faith, المؤمنين, their life and their properties. In return, they will have the Jannah. Period. That's it. So the Prophet ﷺ tried to teach us that we are in a certain situation. I cannot leave it. You can close the gap and allow some of the brother can come in. We can't take whatever Allah bestowed upon us within our own limited capabilities, within our own limited capacities. We can do the best. We can perform the best. We can accomplish the best if we march in the right direction. This is the most important thing, my dear brothers and sisters. I will give an example from the life of the Prophet ﷺ, just to illustrate this hadith. Planted and he will be rewarded. The second part, where is the reward? Because we grew up, we need to see the reward. A pat on the shoulder, oh thank you Akhi, this is a nice speech. A flag on the wall, certificate of appreciation, this is fine. We do need to appreciate the goodness in every human being. There is no doubt about it. We need to recognize the hard working of the people. This is nice because the Prophet ﷺ did that. He didn't praise the people who did what suppose they do. And they accomplished. I'm not talking about that. I am about talking about the notion which we start establishing within ourselves. I will not do this until I know what is my reward. Whether it's going to be recognition, but in any form of recognition, in any form, I'm not going to limit it to a certain. But the Prophet ﷺ tried to teach us that the real reward, it is what's settled with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the Qiyamah. There is nothing wrong. It's everything is collapsed. And the Prophet ﷺ said, plant it and you will be rewarded. Yes, because as long as we don't have control on the end result, then all what we do in this life is going to be accounted and will be rewarded accordingly or not. This is the most important thing. And that will lead to the most important thing left in this hadith. He will be rewarded. Where is the reward? It is not in this life, it's like gone. It is the hereafter. And unfortunately, in the mind of the Muslims in general, please don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing. No. My heart is bleeding because what I see, the reluctant and the laziness and the withdrawal and you name it. Shutting their eyes, closing their ears, turning their back, leaving the room, changing the channel, flipping the page. I don't need to do anything with that. I have my things to do. Your things to do in this life is to raise the banner of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. This is your sole purpose in this life. Unfortunately, some of the Muslims, their journey is in this life is between the kitchen and the bathroom. This is their journey. But here, the Prophet ﷺ brings us to the concept of the hereafter. The hereafter becomes so vague, so distorted in the mind of so many Muslims that it is never exists and we don't think about it. We don't really even imagine it. It is, to some of us, it is fluffy cloud and the flying angels. There is no fluffy cloud. There is no flying angel. It is a reality. And the Prophet ﷺ did live the reality on earth. The hereafter is always exists with him in the way he think, in the way he speak, in the way he deal with his wife, with his companion, with the people. In any aspect of his life, the hereafter was a vivid, living creature. And that, when I mention it, it has a great impact. I mentioned it earlier about the priorities. Because when you mention that the hereafter, we're going to go where? When we leave, we'll end up with whom? We are coming to Allah, to the Creator. And this is our goal. So when your priority is Allah here, and my job is here, yet all your life is confused. The Prophet ﷺ tried to tell us that the priority number one in the life of the Muslim is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not yourself, not yourself, not your family, not your kids, not anybody else. It is Allah. Once you put him that it is your priority, everything will come in a very harmonious, beautiful way. You will feel the tranquility, the peace, the easiness in your life, even if you are facing difficulty and hardship. And this is what the people in Gaza are doing. They surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To him we belong, to him we return, and everything comes. Look to them. The peace, the tranquility, the stand down, the steadfast, the persistence, the resistance, the courage. My dear brothers and sisters, once you set your system of priority, you will see the path clear. You see what you're supposed to do, where you start, where you stop, because this is part, it is one of the effect or the influence of the belief in the hereafter. It changes your priorities. If you slow down, you remember you are coming to Allah, so you rush. If you go astray, right or left, you remember Allah, so you repent. So your life is all the time revolved about the pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the most important thing. My dear brothers and sisters, and then it has another effect. The people are no longer compete that this build a mansion, I have to build two. This is drive a luxury car, I have to buy three. This is no. The competition becomes, I see my brother rushing to Allah, I have to rush with him or be faster than him. That becomes the competition. The values is no longer these petty, small little things which people fight for it. It will be the Jannah you are looking for. Don't be little that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never promised the Jannah for anyone. It is not an open door. Everyone can come in. Assalamu alaikum, come on, get in. No. There is a price for it. And this is a hefty price. You don't need to give yourself, no. But it is the way you deal with the situation. It is the way you handle. It is the way you overcome the obstacle. It is the way you encounter the difficulties. It is the way how you represent yourself as a servant to Allah on this earth. My dear brothers and sisters, let me bring to you some of the life of the Prophet ﷺ, which is really reflected in this hadith. You know, he spent 13 years in Mecca. He received all kind of rejection. He been hurt, physically really hurt. verbally abused. He was really sanctioned. He faced all kind of hardship and difficulties. He never changes. He can easily say, like so many of us, when we really feel that we are really a little bit squeezed, to give up, to lose hope, to give up faith in Allah, to forget about that Saturday, it is the end of the world, I cannot do it, I cannot tell it, no! He can easily say, oh God, I am tired, 13 years of labor, and this is your being taken, I am done. He can say that. He never did that. He never. He continued the struggle. He continued carrying the message, regardless of the difficulties, regardless of the hardship. He was planting the palm seedling. When the angels of the mountain came to him, sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to collapse the mountain of Mecca over the kuffar, you know what he said? He said, nay, I pray to him that he will bring from their offspring somebody worshiping him. Which is me. My dear brothers, don't lose hope. Don't give up. Don't retreat. Don't resign your post. Don't close the door. Don't get depressed. Things will be changed if we stand up with Allah. Allah is going to stand up with us. As simple as that. إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. If you are going to be in the side of Allah, Allah will be in your side, and He will give you the steadfastness, and you will get the victory. And then he decided to migrate. Sometimes there is a lecture here, or a demonstration there, or something which required an extra effort. We try to find some way. You know, I have some homework I have to finish it. Yes, okay, you can finish your homework. And I have to close this deal. When he ended up looking for a solution out of that and decided to migrate, he took every single requirement to make his journey success. But you know what he did? He took a guide, a companion, and it is not a simple journey. It was over 500 kilometers of burning sand. He can say, somebody might chase me, I might be killed, I might lose my way, I. Let me sit in my house in Mecca, forget about it. He didn't do that. He took the initiative. He really moved in that direction. But what he did, when I said, everything in the hand of Allah, he said, he raised his hand to Allah. He said, oh, read it in Surah At-Tawbah, my little brothers. It's so beautiful. And that will give you the feeling that Allah will never abandon you. If you are not abandoning Him, Allah is always there to assist you, to help you, to take care of you. إِلَّا تَنْصُرُوهُ فَقَدْ نَصَرَهُ اللَّهُ إِذْ أَخْرَجَهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا ثاني اثنين إذ هما في الغار يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا فأنزل الله سكينته عليه وأيده بجنود لم تروها وجعل كلمة الذين كفروا السفلى وكلمة الله العليا. He said, if you are not going to give him victory, Allah is going to give him victory. Read it in Surah At-Tawbah. He aided him with unknown forces. He sent the tranquility and peace on him. And he made the words of those who deny the truth the lowest, and the words of Allah the supreme. How much guarantee you want to know? So when he did that, he raised his hand. Oh Allah, I did what you asked me to do. I did the soil, I did this, I planted that. It's up to you. to make this journey a success, to make it a failure. And Allah will it to be a successful journey. It was the beautiful journey on the face of earth till Allah really inherited the earth. And then, I have about 3 more minutes, but I'll give you another example. In the Battle of Badr, by all measures, if I look to it as a human being trying to measure it militarily, it is a failing. It's completely going to be a lost battle. But when he faced with this, you see, we are not looking for hardship, we are not seeking for difficulties, but when we are going to face it, we shouldn't run away. We should really challenge it at this time and do it because we have the faith and we have the support of Allah. But when he faced with that, they are outnumbered and out-equipped. 1 to 3. But he took all the measures given to him by Allah. And he stood in his tent, read it in the seerah. Oh Allah, you know our situation. We did take what we are able to do. It's up to you. To give us defeat, it's up to you to make it victorious. And Allah make it the most beautiful, victorious battle on the face of earth. My dear brothers and sisters, we are living a very hard time. We are living in a very difficult situation. But we have to keep, yes, our heart is bleeding. We are crying. But we have to set the emotion aside. We have to check ourselves. We have to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to see where is our fault, how we can correct it. What is our responsibility, how we can execute it. This is the most important thing nowadays. I mentioned this khutbah, my dear brothers and sisters. I can talk about Palestine. I've been doing that for the last month. But I try to bring this concept to your mind, that what our brothers facing there, they realize their role on this land. This is the reason they have this strength. This is the reason they have this steadfastness. This is the reason they have this courage. This is the reason they are not going to give up. It is very simple, but Allah trialed them in a different way. And we are going to trial them in a different way. We can sleep peacefully. There is no bomb coming over our head. Let me just make one thing, which is usually I reach sometimes to a point it's become useless to talk about the pharaohs and the tyrants of the Arab and the Muslim world. Those, don't ever look for any source of any kind you might imagine and think. Those are almost, not almost, are really exactly equivalent to the trash. So don't count them. But we have to count on you. We have to count on the Muslims who believe that this is their battle, this is their war, this is their battle. It is not a matter about land, no. It is not a matter about couple kilometers, no, at all. Forget about, don't really limit the issue about that. No. It is the issue about this deen. Either we defend this deen or we are going to lose everything. Don't think that it is a matter of couple people here or there. No. Those people are really the front, you know what they call them, at the front, defending what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us all to raise and defend. My dear brothers and sisters, they are being tested there. They lost their properties, they lost their loved one, everything over their head. Allah, I got a picture yesterday. The rocket is flying, it was a video. And there are three nice Muslims sit down having olives, zaytun, and za'atar in the cup. I mean, those people, they are not sitting really kidding us or joking us. They have a faith that, because you have to understand one thing, there is nothing in this world can be done or executed without the permission of Allah. Nothing. Nothing. And you have to realize that the only source of the power is Allah. If you link yourself to Allah, nobody whatsoever, he might be by any measure greater than you, can be even defeated you without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permit anything. And to Allah bring all the wisdom, belongs all the wisdoms. He has the wisdom. And part of the wisdom, they been trial, this severe trial. It is not easy to lose your home, you lose your relative, you lose loved ones. It is not easy for me to speak it, rather to see it. Wallahi, I cannot see the pictures. Allah is my witness, because I would be completely laid down. But we've been tested differently. They need help. And we should do the help in the line of duty, in the line of responsibility. It is not optional. Don't ever think it is optional. No! It is obligatory. It is part of our faith. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ وَفَسَادٌ. The believers are but brethren to each other. And if we are not going to establish this link, corruption will completely overcome the earth. So my dear brothers and sisters, I'm almost done. I do apologize, I make it too long. I am, in one way, I am very pleased to come and speak to you. And ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it and forgive me for my shortcomings. But I'm asking you, please, my neighbors, if I count you, we are over probably what, 300? About 300. I would do, just give me 2 minutes. I am not, the brothers, they know me, I'm not really, give me 2 minutes. And I want to reach to your pocket, but with the intention that this is, I am doing it in response to Allah's calls. Not to, it is not optional, I cannot do it. This is the reason I said, don't have an excuse about your situation. If your situation can allow you to pay $1, then pay the $1. If you are able to pay 1,000, pay the 1,000. Don't say, oh, I cannot reach it. No, reach. Because whatever you are going to give, it's going to sustain them, and it's going to give us another step that the truth will prevail, and the banner of La ilaha illallah will be rise high and high. So give me 2 minutes, and before I leave you, keep this hadith in your heart. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said, من سن في الإسلام سنة حسنة فله أجرها وأجر من عمل بها إلى يوم القيامة أو كما قال. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, anyone who establishes a deed, he will be rewarded for establishing that deed, and he will get the reward from everyone who followed him. So make the intention that you will be the first one to raise your hand when we do the fundraising, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم. Where is my water?
Behind you.
جزاك الله خير. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله. Allah, my dear brothers and sisters, to me, I have the full faith Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bring victory. I have no doubt about that. And I have the full faith that the truth is going to prevail. But at the same time, I have to do my job. I have to do what is required for me. And I have to continue the struggle. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will aid me and aid you and aid them. And inshallah we'll march in that direction, inshallah. And make the dua, inshallah. اللهم أسألك يا جبار ويا منتقم ويا قهار، اللهم سدد رميتهم واهلك عدوهم، اللهم زلزل الأقدام من تحت الأرض من تحت أقدام أعدائهم، اللهم أنت الناصر فانصرهم، اللهم إنه يرفعنا رايتك يا أرحم الراحمين فأيدهم بجند من عندك يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارحم موتاهم واشفي مرضاهم يا ارحم الراحمين وجرحاهم، اللهم وامدهم بمدد من عندك يا ارحم الراحمين، انت القوي العزيز يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات الاحياء منهم والاموات، ربنا انك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات، واقم الصلاه. وين الشيخ المقام؟